In Boca Auto Fix, located in South Florida, we get a lot of air conditioning work. Today I wanted to show you what we do after every air conditioning repair. So here we have a 2016 Subaru that came in with an air conditioning leak that we found 2 O-rings on the AC compressor had been leaking, and we replaced those O-rings. That's a common issue on these Subarus. So we had evacuated the R134A refrigerant, which this car takes with our big machine. We repaired the O-rings. Then we use a set of digital gauges here from Field Piece to actually pressurize this entire system with dry nitrogen. If we see in the top left and right on our high and low sides, about 168 psi of dry nitrogen in the system. And we can do a decay test. On our left, we see we've lost about 0.3 pounds of dry nitrogen over on our right here, a 38-minute period. That ensures that we don't have a leak. In this scenario, on this Subaru, a 0.3 degree drop is acceptable. We sometimes have temperature swings as the day heats up or as the engine cools down. The temperature will cause the pressure to drop. But we also would want to find out if there is a leak, how do we get to that leak? If that pressure continues to increase over time, we pan over here to your right, we have several tools once the system's under pressure with dry nitrogen to determine there's a leak. We have a leak detector tool. This actually would be used with refrigerant in the system. We don't use this very much, but this would detect actually R134A or 1234YF refrigerant for a leak. We can also use an ultraviolet light with our glasses. If there's dye in the system, we can look for traces of dye at certain parts of the system we can get to. One of the older school methods is we can use bubbles. This is Big Blue brush on and spray on bubbles. This will look for micro leaks. So for this Subaru, there's a common leak failure on one of the hoses right on the manifold that we put an O-ring in. We actually preemptively put leak detector bubbles, a gel in there, just to make sure we didn't see any foaming or any bubbles. That's what we would have done here. That was just to make sure that that fitting wasn't leaking. And finally, our favorite here at Boca Auto Fix is the ultrasonic leak detector. So you would run headphones and you would use this wand, and this will pick up ultrasonic changes in the sound. That's very good for evaporators, condensers, anywhere that we can get to the air conditioning system. So in this case, we have a leak-free system in the Subaru. We've confirmed that that's not leaking over now a 40-minute period. We can then, on this same manifold gauges, purge out the nitrogen. We can then turn on our 3 CFM dual-stage vacuum pump. We can draw a vacuum on these digital gauges down to the micron level. We've gotten systems down to even under 100 microns. This is to ensure that we get as much moisture out of the system as possible. Not only do we get moisture out by purging the system with dry nitrogen, but also pulling down a deep vacuum. Vacuuming can range from an hour up to overnight, depending on the size of the system, how wet the system is, the condition of the dryer, the desiccant bag in the dryer and the condenser. Once we're done there, we've pulled down all the vacuum and the leak detection with our dry nitrogen. We would then remove these digital gauges and go back to our machine. A lot of people are familiar with these type of machines. This is a Robinair. This is an important part of what we do with air conditioning, but this machine for us is simply to evacuate, to recycle, and then recharge the system. So then we would hook this machine back up, recharge it with, in this case, 18 ounces of R134A. But then we know when we go back to the client that it's a leak-free system. The air conditioning is going to perform well for them for hopefully years to come. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. The extra steps here at Boca Auto Fix we take to ensure post repairs for air conditioning systems, that we make sure that there's no leaks in it and you get a cold air conditioner when you leave here. So thank you very much and have a great day.